What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to another episode of CGX Cast. This is episode 68. Wow, we're climbing up in numbers, man. It's pretty cool. But we have a pretty good show this week. Gonna throw a little surprise at the end, so stay tuned for that. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. But we're gonna get into this. As you can see, we have a special guest today, Eddie Player One. How you doing today, sir?
It's me. I was waiting to see who's the special one, but no, thanks for having me. Ace. And hello, panel. Hello, everybody.
Hey. We got a two new members officially to the panel now. We have Dr. Spaceman. Welcome to the panel.
Thanks a lot, Ace. Really glad to be here.
For sure. And we have Jezebeli as a new member of the panel.
Nice to meet everybody. I'm so excited.
Cool. So yeah, the OGs, Duncan and Holtz, here as well. Monkey cannot make it today, as you guys know, he's recovering, and Chief is doing what Chief does. GTP is on vacation, Christmas vacation. So shout outs to GTP as well, and Gamer TV's MIA. Gamer shout outs to you too. But let's kick it off, man. We got some good stuff to talk about. So we'll start with Amazon Luna. As you guys know, they released 4 games to the platform this week, which is a lot for Luna, right? Let's be real. So good stuff. We'll talk about that. Xbox Cloud Gaming released 11 games to the platform this week, which is huge. So we'll talk about that as well. GeForce Now give us 4 games and a sale. We'll talk about GFN. You guys are going to hear my take with GFN this week. It's not going to be good. Just a disclaimer before we get there. And Google Stadia are doing Google Stadia things. Running some pretty good promotions, but one stands out as being very controversial. So we'll talk about that promotion. And also they give us some games this week. So we'll talk about those too. But that's it. I think Shadow PC will talk about some of the news too. Again, they give us I would say update on what's going to happen with Shadow in 2022. Kind of a bummer. People were speculating to see more, right, for Shadow this year with new tiers. So we'll talk about that news as well. But yeah, that's what the show is going to be all about this week. But let me introduce the panel members, see what they're doing, and see what games they've been playing on what platform. So to get started with this, Duncan, how are you doing today, sir? Where have you been playing what platform?
My platform over the last week has been it's been on Xbox and it's been on GFN. GFN, I'm just blown away. I'm going to go down the talk here, which might prick Eddie's ears up a bit. I have went back and started playing Assassin's Creed, the original Assassin's Creed. I've never actually completed that, and I'm just astounded at the difference between the original Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed 2. I've played Assassin's Creed 2. It's such mad, but playing it on the 3080, I'm playing in 4K because I'm playing on the Shield. It's 60 FPS and it is playing so well. When I played it before, I thought it was really, really clunky, but now it's playing how I thought it should be playing. So I've been playing on that. I've been playing Assetto Corsa. I'm not going to say the last word because Hellmonkey will make fun of me. So I'm not going to say that. Absolutely brilliant there. Again, I've been floating between so many games. It's unreal. Over on Xbox, I've been back on the Forza for a bit as well. So it's all good. I've been playing an absolute ton.
Good to see you gaming. Let me ask you a question about Assassin's Creed, right? Do you like where the franchise is now compared to the OG Assassin's Creed?
Speaking of Assassin's Creed, you didn't know this. I'm actually going to be putting out a video in a couple of days about Assassin's Creed and how I think it's going to be actually going into the cloud going forward, and how the cloud's going to be probably the best place it is going to be played because of the new Assassin's Creed, and I think we're seeing hints of that with the DLC, which has been released out this past week. With that, to be honest, it depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I really like the old one, and sometimes I really like the new one. I like the old one. For me, the best old one is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I absolutely loved that. I thought it was the one which nailed the old style Assassin's Creed. But when you go back and play it, the new ones just feel better in some respects because of the RPG elements and some of the gaming things have actually done it to make it a better game as well. But sometimes it's good to go back and look at the old school ones, and I'm giving myself the challenge of going through all of them over the next wee while, so it's going to be fun.
That's a huge challenge, man. There's a lot of numbers in that franchise, so you got a lot of games to play, man. But that's fun. Good stuff. Good to have you on here, Duncan, for sure. Dr. Space, how are you doing today, sir? What have you been playing? What platform?
I'm doing really good. To be honest, most of my attention went to Halo, mostly multiplayer. It's been the same story for the last few weeks. Really been absorbed by this game, just having too much fun. But I did look at a few other games lately, like Chorus over on GFN and a few titles here and there. But yeah, I've been mostly because I'm living in Atlantic Canada, which is a tiny bit remote. Most of the cloud services work really well over here. I've got no problem, except for xCloud, which is totally horrendous. I've made multiple demonstration of this. Like if I use the Xbox app, I just get a big blur of pixels that are not even understandable. And in the browser, it looks okay, but I get quite a bit of latency. So I'm actually about to go on holidays over in Quebec. So I'm curious to try it out there. So it's more closer to the central of Eastern Canada. So I'm curious to see how it will affect my cloud gaming platforms changing to that area. I think it'll be refreshing to get better network for this. But all in all, yeah, been playing on the Xbox Series S for Halo and just a tiny bit dipping into other games here and there.
Cool. Wow. You guys have been gaming, man. It's pretty cool. And yeah, so Monkey's not the only one with xCloud problems, man. So that sucks, man. Again, we talk about that with xCloud just not being reliable and consistent. Seems like you having that issue too.
But it'll come eventually. They'll fix it. I've seen some improvements, definitely. We know they'll get the tech, like whatever. Like right now, we know that NVIDIA, the 3080 model is working extremely well.
Yeah,
you can expect most platforms to perform that well within at least 2 or 3 years. My guess is for most areas. So it's just a question of time. But yeah, right now they're struggling a lot to bring the performance.
Okay. Cool, man. Again, welcome to the panel space. Good to have you, my dude. And
thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Holt, how you doing today, sir? What have you been playing? What platform?
So I've been actually sorting out my living room, so I've just been focusing more on catching up on Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the LG native app of Stadia, and that game runs really amazing. So I've just been focusing to stay there, and I've not really played much apart from that, but I actually, because I was so wowed by the TV, I went out and bought some Stadia controller brackets, and I wall mounted it to my wall. Now my TV, and that just looks so cool now with floating controllers around, and I'm like, yeah, this is where I'm going to game now in the cloud on me telly. This is the future. I really wanted to play Shenmue 3, but I loaded it up on the Shield TV, and I'm already signed up into Epic. I thought it would have went in straight away, and it came in with a login issue. And I had to re-log in, and I was like, I can't see nothing. I can't see a cursor. What's happening here? So I picked up my Xbox controller. I've tried to navigate around. I'm like, where's the mouse cursor? Found it. If you hold start on the Xbox controller, it pulls up a virtual keyboard and mouse. But it was that small. It was like the size of a pixel. Tiny. And because it was a white background, I was like, and then before I knew it, I was right in front of me TV, and I must have wasted about an hour and a half slowly dragging down this cursor just to click login. So it was I did want to play Shenmue, but it took hours for me to sign in.
What were you trying to use to play it?
Shadow, I was using it. I was using the Shield TV GeForce Now with on a 55-inch telly with an Xbox controller. So it.
Wait, Shenmue 3 is in GeForce Now?
Yes,
it is.
Excuse me?
It was free. It's free on the Epic Store. So I claimed it free on the Epic Store. Going, wow, a game that I finally want to play, and I booted up GeForce Now.
Hold up. Shenmue 3 is in GeForce Now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? Really?
Yeah.
No way. Seriously?
No, it is. Shenmue 3's in there.
Holy crap. Wow.
Yeah, it's for free out from free so far. All the games which
got the screen right now, which
no
reloaded.
way. Had no idea. Okay,
so
wow.
I wanted to play, but I couldn't get into it. But when I finally got into it, I was like, I'm not wasting any more time with this. So throughout the weekend, maybe I'll actually play it.
Holy shnikes. Wow.
That was free on the Epic Game Store.
Wow.
Every games that Epic Game Store has been given for the Days of Christmas are all on GFN.
Wait, but did they release that on GFN this week?
No, it's been there for a while.
It's been there.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Wow.
The Shenmue fans. Wow. I didn't know you guys were such big Shenmue fanatics.
Holy crap. That's one of my favorite franchise. Even though 3 I heard wasn't the best one, but 1 and 2, my goodness.
So you must have missed it because GFN always have weeks, you know.
My might change this week because of that, man.
I should have kept quiet so we can just keep on bashing it. Then I would have said it, wouldn't I, in the GeForce Now part.
That's crazy. Wow.
But Remnant from the Ashes, which is also free today on Epic, is also on the GFN, and so was the game they gave yesterday, which is
Neon Abyss.
Yep.
So they're giving out games every week, every day?
Yep, every day. The thing about Neon Abyss, which you might miss out on, is if you actually load it up on your iPhone, it's actually not shown for the Epic Games Store, but it's if you go up on the Shield or on the PC, it is. So that is an interesting sort of one.
Wow. I'm sitting here playing Final Fantasy VII Remake and missing out on all this beautiful games, man. Wow. Okay, holy crap. Good stuff. All right, let's get to Jazz. How are you? What have you been playing? What platform?
I have been getting into Celeste for the first time on Stadia, and I know this game has been around a while. I played it briefly a while ago, and I can't remember what platform it was on. It was so long ago, but I got back into it, and I absolutely love it. It's very difficult, but it's very fun, and it's punishing in a way that isn't frustrating. So it's not like, I don't like games that are like stupid hard just to be hard, like Dark Souls. I'm just not a fan. Like, I know people love Dark Souls. You know, you die, you learn, you repeat. You die, you learn, you repeat. Like, that's great. Yeah. But the thing about Dark Souls that I don't like is when you die, you typically have to run back a long distance. And there'll be shortcuts that you unlock and stuff. But it's just like, it's tedious. And after a while, I just get tired of it and I don't want to do it anymore. But with Celeste, it's really forgiving on checkpoints. So you basically do a jump puzzle, and then you scroll the screen because it's a 2D platformer. You scroll the screen, and then when you die, you just restart right on that screen. So it's frustrating because it's difficult, but on the other hand, it's not like you're backtracking constantly from death. You know what I'm saying? So It's not like, if that's the part of difficult games that frustrates you, the backtracking and the doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, then Celeste really isn't like that bad because it's very forgiving. That's tons of checkpoints. Other than that, just today, I booted up Halo Infinite's campaign on xCloud, and man, like, it's good.
It's good.
Like, it's real good.
Okay.
xCloud, I have no latency. Like, it feels basically as good as Stadia, except there are times where I'll just like randomly have like a small amount of latency and then it goes away. So it's weird. But it's very few and far between. It's very playable where I am. It's not as pretty as Stadia. There's a lot of like fidelity issues. You get a lot of pixelization in like the darks and stuff. Like you can tell it's compressed. Like you can see the lower video quality. But I mean, it plays great. I don't care because I'm playing the new Halo without an Xbox, so I'm not going to care. You know, like I'm just excited to play Halo. Right. So, and I love it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, that intro, I got goosebumps from it. Like it was so good.
Yeah.
There's that Marine, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing? Like, you can't do this." And then he's like, "I don't even care. I'm going to do it anyway."
I got a little scared because, you know, GTP, and I'm sure you know about this by talking to him on Discord. He probably would have disowned this whole panel if you would have said the game was terrible. So I'm glad you're having a good time with it.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I love Halo. I played through on Twitch. I played through all of them in chronological order, starting with Reach. I played through the entire series, and it's the first time I had played them all like back to back like that. And wow, I had a blast playing them. I was so, even Halo 5, which everybody dogged on, which wasn't the best, but I still liked it. It was still fun.
Yeah. Cool, Jazz. Again, welcome to the panel. Good to hear you've been gaming, and good to have you on here. All right. So you guys know we saved the best for last. Eddie, play you once, sir. What have you been playing? What platform have you been using? How you doing?
Okay, I'm gonna save the best for last as well. I've been playing a lot on the Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
The Nintendo Switch, just like Switch exclusive games.
Okay.
Mostly Nintendo games, meaning Mario, Yoshi, Kirby, and those genre of games. Spend a lot of time playing with the kid. And when I'm not playing with the kid, I am part of a group called Icarus Gang, where we're playing Icarus on GFN. Well, I've been playing on GFN, and that game is amazing. I wasn't a fan of the genre before, the Survivor genre, but playing that game with a cool group of friends, and the graphics on that game, it's beautiful. If it wasn't for GFN 3080, I would not be able to run this game the way I'm running on the cloud. It's impressive the number of FPSs that I get on that game on the cloud. That local rigs with 3080 cannot get the number of FPSs that I get. So been mostly playing solely this game. I would say in the past 2 weeks I probably have close to 50 hours on it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, probably close to 50 hours. And my friends are even crazier than me with like 100 hours.
Damn. So tell people, what is Icarus? What do you do in that game, and why is it so addictive?
Icarus is a survivor game. Survival game, usually you go to a place and you do gathering, gather resources, hunt animals, build your shelter. You just keep on grinding your character, like putting your character to the next levels, and then you do a mission. So Icarus is all of that. If I try to compare, there's the OG survivor of all, Minecraft. I would say it's Minecraft on steroids. So you do survivor, you do mining, you do gathering, and then you build your shelter, you hunt your animals. With the resources you get from the animals, you build your weapons. Then you keep evolving your character until you can build better shelter, better weapons, and fight larger animals.
Okay. So how many people can you group up with to play together?
Up to 8 people.
Okay.
It is a host-based session.
Okay.
So let's say I am the host of the session and we go into a mission. We have depending on the mission, it could be more days, but usually we have 7 days to complete a mission. There are a few missions that are more complex that you have like 30 days to complete the mission. But the days when I'm talking, it's like real time days.
Oh, wow.
And you can it can be asynchronous. So I can be logged in, do a bunch of stuff, and then you logged in and you do a bunch of stuff, or we can work together.
That's cool, man. It sounds like if you have a good group of people to play this game with, it's a lot of fun.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Well, we
awesome.
started a group of 3.
Yeah.
When I did my first hour, I have this series on my channel when I do first hours of a games. My first hour of this game was a 3-hour live stream,
Dag.
and I was
That's
playing
crazy.
with Vet, Cloud Gaming, and Mag
Yeah.
from Megatron X. And
Yeah.
after that day, we ended up coming back and playing it almost every single day. It has been a lot of
yeah.
fun.
I hear Vet. That's all he talks about, man. The dude like lives, sleep, and wakes up to that game. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it has been a few nights because most of us still work on 9 to 5, and when it's like, all right, everybody, let's go, and then we go and we start to play, and all right, what we're gonna do? We started this mission. We're gonna finish this mission. We're gonna just gather resources. We're gonna do level up on the character. We're gonna work on our builds because the character, once you start, you have like a skill talent tree, and this game can get pretty hard. I don't know if you guys heard about Valheim at the beginning of the
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
So
Great
Valheim
game.
is a survivor as well, but it's under the thematic of Vikings.
Yeah.
This game is a little bit more harder than Valheim, but it is a survival game, but on the thematic of space. Let's say
Oh.
it's space, but not that much space,
Okay.
because as a space genre, you have No Man's Sky, but this is much more like a Valheim because you have this planet called Icarus, and you go to this planet and you need to complete the mission in that set time. If you don't leave the planet in that set of time, you lose your character forever. So you need to start your character from zero. So right
Dag,
now,
that's crazy.
I know it's capped to 100, the level of the character. Me with 50 hours, my character is in level 20. And I know, like, again, if the time runs up and I ended up not leaving the planet, I lose my whole progression of the character.
That's nuts, man. Wow. I think you're convincing some people in the chat to take a look at this game. It's a game that I haven't even spent time with it, but yeah, definitely might check it out for sure.
Gotta tell Chad, indeed, it's pretty fun. And starting, I had a planning on doing it today, but today was a busy day. I wasn't home for most of the day. But tomorrow, if you're interested, you can check on my YouTube channel. I'll probably be streaming this. And during the holiday break, I have a week on holiday break, and that was gonna be it for almost every afternoon for a few hours playing this game.
That's cool, man. We'll definitely check that out. And yeah, I might have to again take a look at this for sure. For sure. Anything else you've been playing, Eddie?
I don't have time for that. Well, to be honest, yesterday, me and a bunch of friends, we at work, we played something similar to Jackbox Party. Yep,
Yeah.
Jackbox Party games. We played Jackbox Party games 7 and 8.
Cool, man. On Stadia?
Yeah, it was on Stadia.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, that game is fun. Great game for the holiday seasons for sure.
Yeah, you if you guys don't know what Jackbox Party is, you just need one player to have the game, and the others just logging into a website, jackbox.tv, and put the code, and you are just playing. Like one hosts the session of the party for multiple people.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool, man. Eddie, good to have you. And again, I think you've convinced a lot of people to check out Icarus for sure. But thanks for being here, my dude.
Absolutely. Thanks for inviting me again, Ace.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and oh my goodness. So I skipped that game on the PS4 Pro. People are like, why are you so excited to play the game? Because I haven't played it. It's my first playthrough. And talk about nostalgia, man. From the intro, just it hits you, man. It hits you. And it's great. Such a great game. Highly would recommend. I know people are saying PC port was terrible, but at least we have it on PC, right? So yeah, check that out if you guys haven't yet. Halo Infinite single play campaign too. Trying to work my way through that as well.
So good.
It's
So good.
it's all right. It's all right. I don't think it's like the greatest game of all time, but it's good enough. It's keeping me entertained for sure.
Well, I mean, you like Shenmue, so.
Oh, shots fired. Okay, I see. No, it's okay. It's okay. I think so I'm still like in the, what do you call it, dungeon area, right? I haven't experienced the meta Halo, whatever they call it, the open world. So I think when I get out there, it might get better, but it's okay.
Yeah, as long as you haven't seen the open world, you haven't really experienced the campaign.
experienced
That's where
it,
it's opens up.
Right. So just being a little patient with it for sure. But yeah, so let's check in with the members. And I see a lot of you guys are on here. So shout outs to you guys. We got some super stickers. So thank you for that. We'll get to that in a bit. But Hell Monkey, man, good to see you again. Shout out to Monkey, member of the panel. He's recovering right now, but hopefully we'll see him back in the panel. Zero Gamers for me, good to see my dude. And your mama knows. I think you have a fan here, Jazz. Here he goes.
Yes, he was talking about me on his show earlier.
Oh my goodness, dude. Shout outs to you, man. But Space is good to see you. I see you on here. Make of Chaos, good to see you, my dude. Crow, good to see you. Nimbus is also another member of the XS channel. Good to see you as well, Nimbus. Trying to go down the list here. Flush You, always good to see you. Polaris with the super sticker. What a stack panel. Thank you. Happy holidays to you, man. Just a heads up, this is going to be our last show until New Year, and then we'll pick up. But yeah, happy holidays if you're hearing it here for the first time. But yeah, good to see you guys. And your mama knows with another donut, super chat. Thank you. I'm already, geez Louises, dude. Jez, there you go again. Team Stadia. Is that why you're a fan? Because she's a Stadia
I'm going to
fan?
inject some Stadian knowledge up in this panel.
Okay. Yeah, so there you go. That's probably why you guys are connecting, right? Discordia Disco. Pretty cool name. This is fun. Good to see you, my dude. Kenny, Mr. W, good to see you. See you in here. Jazz Alley, good to see you. Yanto, good to see you. Dave, good to see you. This is a dope phone for sure. And Caseball, good to see. All right, let's kick it off. We're gonna start off with Amazon Luna. So they give us 4 games this week, which for Luna, as you guys know, is a pretty big deal. Normally they give us 4 games for their monthly roadmap, right? So we got Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon, we got Judgment, we got Myst, and we got DreamWorks Spirit Adventure. So the first 3 game I listed, the Far Cry 3, Judgment, and Myst, was all released on Luna Plus, and we got DreamWorks Spirit Adventure released on the family channel. So just want to check in with you guys. I think, let's look at the panel. I think maybe 2 or 3 of us in this panel right now actually has access to Luna. Yeah. So just let's check in with Jazz first, actually. Did you play any of these games? And if so, how has the experience been with them?
I actually haven't tried any of the new games yet. So
okay.
I really want to get into Devil May Cry 5. That'll be my next Luna game, because I'm so excited that they finally put that on there, that we can get it on streaming now. So
yeah, that game is incredible. Have you ever played the Devil May Cry game?
I have. Yes,
okay.
I think the last one I played was 4 on PS3, right? Wasn't that on PS3 or was that on? Yeah.
so, yeah. So they said this one is kind of like going back to, I think some people didn't like 4, and then they made another one like just Devil May Cry. That was the name of it.
Yeah, that was by Ninja Theory, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But people are saying this one's like going back to its roots. So I played it. I didn't beat it, but it was a lot of fun. So I'm excited for you to test it out for sure.
Yeah, I've heard great things about it. Everybody seems to love it.
Okay. Cool. How about you, Duncan? What's your take on these games releasing for Amazon Luna?
It's Amazon Luna. It is a subscription service. Nothing has left as yet. Absolutely class that these games are coming. We're just saying with Judgment dropping there, and I'm pretty isn't missed on Xbox as well, or am I talking out from my backside in that?
It is.
Yeah. With them games coming, we're just seeing the crossover between the cloud games, and it's something just to keep an eye on going forward, because with the different models out there, with your subscription and your buying models, subscriptions isn't for one game, it's all the games you get with it, and this is just adding to the value of Luna, which is $5.99 a month in US. That is just absolutely brilliant value. Even the kiddies channel as well is ridiculous value. Good to see Far Cry 3 drop onto it on that as well. So it's pretty decent where Luna is going. So the big question marks with Luna going forward is when they actually start removing games, and will they keep up will they keep up with the supply and demand like we're seeing it with Xbox? Because Xbox are adding more games and they're basically losing if you go over the space of the month. That's going to be the big thing to watch for Luna. But at this moment in time, every game which gets added just increases its value.
Yeah, I don't know if they're ever going to remove them. Like, they don't seem to ever.
Yeah, they are. They've already said that they're.
Oh, they are. Okay, I didn't know that.
And I know be my luck that by the time this comes to Europe, I'll be like, "Oof, I'm going to play Yakuza Like a Dragon, Devil May Cry 5, Judgment," and it's going to say leaving soon. I'm like,
Jazz, what their wording off it was, there's going to be no games leaving while they're in beta. As soon as beta
comes, I
see.
Okay.
So that's where there's maybe some confusion over that. So games will leave eventually. It's just how, if 5 games leave, will they have 5 or 6, or will it go down? That is going to be the big question mark. But at this moment in time, it's basically plain sailing for them. They add more games. It just makes it more appealing. Get the expansion going.
I do have 2 questions about Luna. The first one being like, if games leave, like at the moment you cannot buy those games, so there's no way of continuing them. Do you have any ways of retrieving your save files and continuing like on PC version or any other versions? It's pretty much if the game leaves, you lose your save file and it's gone forever.
I think only on the Ubisoft's channel can you like cloud save. So I don't think Luna offers any of that unless the game just like has it coded in there. Like if it's just happens to be like an MMO or something that has a cloud save built into it, there's no like export on Luna.
This is what I will throw back to you. It's a very easy one to throw back, and people will yap and all that sort of carry on. Can you export the save files off Xbox?
But you can if you.
Yeah, but most games you get them on Xbox.
Yeah, you can buy them.
You always have a way.
But if it's in the cloud, and the same with PlayStation, it'll be. I'm just saying it's that
you have to own an Xbox essentially.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing is if you really want to finish the game out, this an option to do so. Right?
I'm telling you now, you'll be able to buy it because I've already opened the door with that with the DLC. You're not going to allow you to buy the DLC and not buy the game. If they did, they're going to get crucified for doing that across absolutely a load of different places. So they're keeping their powder dry in regards to the ban of the games. I think it's just a matter of time before you will be able to buy them. And I think when they come out from beta, that is going to be one of the first things they're going to be doing is you can buy these games.
Yeah, because at the moment they haven't put any expiry dates on any of the game yet. Like it's all It might leave eventually, but we don't know when. And we know that eventually some games will get out of the subscription. For sure, once they pull one out, it'll be available for purchase. That's probably what they're waiting and to pull a game out of there to have the option to buy it, because it doesn't make sense to get people involved in a game than just pull it out and having no ways of retrieving your save file. The other question I got about Luna, I'm pretty sure, because I did try it for 2 weeks a while ago last year, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't available at the moment, but we know they are running the games on RTX hardware. Do the game have ray tracing, like Control, for example, or any of the games on Luna? Do any of them
So Control
have ray
doesn't.
tracing in the moment?
Control
doesn't?
on Luna, no.
Does any of the Luna games have ray tracing?
I don't think so right now.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think so right now.
I think GTP might know if he was here, because I think he
No,
was messing about with that as well.
I know for sure, actually.
Because it's like RTX 2070 or 2080 that's using, that they announced when they revealed the platform.
Yeah, there's no ray tracing right now support for any game on Luna. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shot, but based on what we've
it does support it. It says it's on par with an RTX 2070, but there's no games that have it right now.
Yeah,
God.
Which is interesting, right? Yeah, I mean, you have
the hardware should be capable.
It should be capable. I think go ahead.
That just makes it more complicated for them to stream the game. I think that's the thing. Like, they just want to keep it as simple as possible right now.
My thing about it is I don't think they want to get into that sort of talk, because as soon as you bring in RTX, you're getting into the power talk, and they're not positioning themselves in there. But again, no spoilers.
Yeah. So I'm gonna segue after we get everyone's take here. I'm glad you said that, because again, it's something they're pushing with the marketing. Is Amazon Luna's a new way to play, right? They're not saying, again, this is rivaling consoles. They're not saying it's gonna take over your PC, but if you are like pushing 4K, if you pushing ray tracing, then in a way you're getting into that territory. And maybe you're right, Duncan. Maybe that's a territory right now they're trying to stay away from. But good take there. Doc, do you have any other questions? You said you had 2 questions. Anything else with Luna before we move on to Holtz?
Yeah, it was the 2 questions: the save files and the RTX.
Okay, cool. Holtz, you, sir, what's your take on these games?
I look at Luna now, and it never really encouraged me to be excited for it, apart from the last week when Devil May Cry and Yakuza Like a Dragon came, and this week now I've seen Judgment. I'm like, yes, if this came over as of today, I would so jump into the service and bang the drum that, well, it's got the games that I want to play. So I'm happy to see these titles come to the service, but sadly I haven't got access to it, so and I don't really speak about it.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks for your input. How about you, Eddie? What's your take on Luna again, these games?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have too much to say to Luna, because, again, as a spaceman, not available here in Canada or as the friends in UK, so I don't keep too much of a tab on it. What I have to say for Luna this week was the amazing support that they still do to the content creators around Luna. I saw beautiful art that they put it together for like the end of the year art, and that was an amazing. And keep going, Luna. Looking forward for you guys to leave the early access and expanding.
Yeah. So tell the people more about the art. What about it was amazing to you?
So the art during this year, there are a lot of content creators such as Cloud Gaming Extreme and much more other content creators that create content surround cloud gaming, and some of those content creators have received a special art design by the Luna team, saying, "Hey, since you support our platform, here's what we thought about you." So we create a few designs. So what you're showing here for people on the screen, you can see it could look like a mess, but it's very different designs from multiple content creators. and they made it together in a single art, looking pretty good, in my opinion. And yeah, that was it. The design.
Okay, cool stuff. Again, something Luna has been known to do well is just, shout out creators who support their platform. And this is pretty epic. And, shout outs to them. I mean, to take the time to do something like this. But yeah, did we get everyone's take on the games for Luna this week? Because I do want to move to another Luna segment. Yep. All right. So I was actually trying to find it and I couldn't. But a way that Luna is marketing, Amazon's marketing Luna, is with a slogan called Amazon Luna, a new way to play. Said that a little earlier. Which I want to open up to, because cloud gaming, as you guys know, is still new, still in its infant stage. People still trying to figure out like how to market this. Google Stadia came out saying that, it's going after the console market. I don't know if that's the right approach. Xbox is kind of saying xCloud is a supplementary product to the Xbox ecosystem, right? And then you have Amazon Luna saying Amazon Luna is a new way to play. So I just want to know, what's y'all's take on this marketing slogan? Do you feel like this is the right way to market cloud gaming? And also, do you think anyone else has figured it out? So are you guys happy with how Microsoft is marketing Xbox cloud gaming? How Stadia, again, is going, or they were going for the console market? Who do you think is doing marketing right now when it comes to cloud gaming? I'm just going to open it up. Anyone can hop in here.
I think Luna, that's how you make cloud gaming get mass appeal. You show people it's like Netflix. You subscribe to the channels you want, and all the games are there. You don't have to pay for anything extra. You pay the $6. This is what you get. You click it, you play it. It's that simple. It's just like Netflix. It's the same thing. Everybody's familiar with that. And I think when people hear streaming, that's what they expect. They expect that price model. And they're not trying to say, oh, this is the most powerful platform ever. They're not trying to compete with the big boys, with the graphics, with the power. They're just saying, this is another way to play. You pay your $6, you get all of this. It's really that easy. I think as terms of marketing with Stadia, I mean, what marketing? There's not really much marketing with Stadia. That's the problem. But yeah, I definitely think Luna, especially at the Game Awards, they've really been doing well with their advertising.
Okay, fair enough. And go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say, I'll rate them. I'm very easy to rate the four main ones. It's Xbox for me, GFN, Luna, and then Stadia. I think Xbox are just hiding every time they can do it. Here's a game. It's available in cloud. They're bringing in their mass appeal. GFN are absolutely nailing it as well. The marketing they're doing.
So are you talking about marketing or just
marketing and getting it out there? Yeah.
Okay.
You need to get this into people's hands to actually do it. Xbox are killing it with that. GFN are marketing like they're getting the big streamers doing that. I'm not sure if anybody's aware. If you look on GFM Thursday, I know we all put out our content on GFM Thursday. Also on GFM Thursday, they have big streamers going, here's the game of the week. Here's us playing it. And we're talking big major Twitch streamers are doing that week in, week out. Luna are going after some big name people they've had Kind of Funny. They've got I Am Brandon doing it as well. They're pushing their stuff like the content creators. They're building up from both the top end ones and they're trying to grow their grassroots as well, which is absolutely class. Stadia is shooting themselves in the foot most of the time with their marketing. If you're going to be honest about it, and again, we're going to be touching on that later.
Okay.
So I just think Luna is doing a good job, but they are still taking their baby steps, while Xbox and GFN are really pushing it out there.
Well, Xbox, their benefit is xCloud is just like an add-on. It just comes with Game Pass. So you get Game Pass in people's hands. They have xCloud. They have the streaming. It's It's not something that
Exactly.
you have to go out of your way to get. It's just like, if you have Game Pass, you have this.
And that's what they're hammering home when they're
Mhm.
saying this. You can
Yeah.
you can
It's
just go
brilliant.
play. You
Yeah.
can just go play this on your consoles. You can play it on the web.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what they've done with adding xCloud into their console streaming as well, so you can play the new Series X games on your old Xbox One. Again, they don't really have to, they're pushing it, but they don't have to do a big major one. But every time they're out talking, and you hear Phil Spencer or they're doing an event, Cloud is front and center with them all the time. So that's why I put Xbox One, GFM, because they are really pushing GFM Thursdays, Luna and Third. I think all three of them are doing a good job in their own way. But Stadia is dead last, and I don't think anybody could argue with that.
Okay. We'll get to Stadia and promotions here in a bit. Space, I really do want to hear from you, man. When it comes to marketing cloud gaming right now, who do you think is doing it right?
It's a very complicated take to look at. Luna is doing an amazing job. They're all over the place. Like we've seen it, like Duncan mentioned at the awards. They're doing a lot of interaction with content creators. They're all over the place. So Luna is doing brilliantly, and they're really doing a fun approach as for cloud gaming. But I also really like Xbox because they're not bringing it as cloud gaming advertising, but just putting awareness out there that it is an option. When you have Game Pass, you have the cloud gaming. And what's interesting about it is trying to advertise cloud gaming eventually is just going to be advertised gaming, because as it gets better, it's what people are going to adopt more and more. It's going to become a norm for gaming. We're not there right now. Like, we're still mostly tied to hardware, but we know that both Xbox and PlayStation are the main uh, parties right now, the main platforms that are working on cloud native games. So PlayStation has Haven right now, which it's been confirmed it is a cloud native game that they're working on. It's a game that will span over a terabyte. No PlayStation 5 will be able to store that game. So they already confirmed it is a cloud native game that they're working on right now. And Phil Spencer has already validated that they're looking into multiple titles that they want to make cloud native. They already have some games right now that are better with cloud. Like if you look at Flight Simulator, for example, and there's a few other titles that use some cloud elements. So we are reaching the point where cloud gaming is more and more present in gaming, and we are going to see some fully cloud games. So the aspect of cloud gaming is just going to become a norm at a certain moment, and won't be really cloud gaming advertising. So it's why it's a bit funny of trying to bring it as cloud gaming advertising. It's more bringing awareness to the public, and they are doing a fine job for this. We know PlayStation has done next to nothing other than a few public posts like on Twitter, and like they advertise PlayStation Now a bit, but we know they're about to change their whole model. There's drastic changes that's going to happen. Stadia is Stadia. I'm not going to further talk about them than that, at least for now. But yeah, Luna's been fantastic, and Xbox is really breaking grounds. And GFN, yeah, they've been working with a lot of content creators. They've been doing a solid job with GFN Thursday, like Duncan mentioned earlier. So
Okay. So let me ask you this question, Doc. So again, you said eventually, right? Cloud gaming is going to just be viewed as gaming as a whole. Do you think these companies should target it differently though, right? Again, if you talk to mobile gamers, right, they have a segment. People know what mobile gaming is, right? They're not trying to compete with, console gaming, right? So do you think cloud should take that approach and say, like Luna's saying here, right? This is a new way to game. We're not going after consoles. Like mobile was a different way to game. Cloud is a different way to game, right? Do you think they should kind of branch a little segment for themselves instead of trying to just go after the gaming as a whole, or like console or PC gaming? Thoughts? And anyone can hop in here with this too.
My quick answer to that is yes and yes. It's a bit of a weird phase we're in right now because we're doing some kind of transition to cloud gaming. It's being introduced right now to the market slowly.
Not a
But
transition, I would say an addition of the
yeah,
availability of cloud gaming,
Right.
but
Right.
not like the companies are transitioning 100% to cloud gaming.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's great, Eddie. So do you think cloud should be like an addition to gaming instead of, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm asking these questions because I don't think anyone has figured it out yet. But I think Amazon Luna might be up to something here by marketing,
Well,
this is a new way to game.
I personally love the slogan "New Way to Play," but to
Mhm.
me, in my social space, I've not heard anyone say I'd logged into the Amazon webpage storefront and I seen a new way to play and he promoted the bundle. I've not seen anyone open a Prime Video and an advertisement came up and went, "Oh yeah, a new way to play Amazon Luna. Play your game now."
Yeah, they're
I've
still
not
kind of low
seen.
key with it.
And you would think even like on TVs when you scroll across the app and you get promotion notifications, I've not seen it say, "Get this free month of Amazon Luna." Where if I turn my PlayStation on, or if I go scroll past Stadia or turn the Xbox, they're always pushing the subscription somewhere on my displays, and it's always getting my attention. Get a free month here, get this. So do you know this thing was going on sale? But I've not heard anyone talk that Luna's marketing is doing the same. So to me, I think they're falling flat quite quick.
Well, I think your difference there is that when you turn on a PlayStation, like it's a gaming device, whereas Amazon has like a million forks. So it's like, what are they going to be pushing? I mean, they're gaming like.
They're still selling hardware, aren't they? They're still selling Fire Sticks and all this other stuff that runs
Yes,
Luna.
that's
So
true. But I think it's still because it's still in like limited release. I think it's just not, they're not going as hard on it yet.
Okay. Anyone else? Eddie, we haven't checked in on you with Luna's marketing as a whole. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think Luna is doing a good job considering, again, they are on early access. This example that Holt gave, for example, I cannot verify because I don't live in US. I don't know if the target of like US customers are receiving it or not. People outside of US, of course, probably won't receive it because they are not the target, and officially they cannot have access to it. All that said, I think it's very early stages for the end. That's why they're probably not pushing that much, but they have a very powerful machine, being Amazon on their side, and with that, if they decide to push a few subscriptions, they can start pushing it by making a bundle with Prime or doing something with Prime, because they already do something with Amazon Music, for example, and on Amazon Video as well. For they offer I don't want to say channels, but they offer different well, maybe it's the name of its channels, but like you can subscribe to Paramount Plus inside of Amazon Video and
Yes.
so on. So maybe once they are ready to do that with gaming, they will start promoting the same way.
I think what they're going to do, and I think they're going to raise the price of Luna Plus, and then I think they're going to, for Prime members, they're going to keep it either $6 or not raise it as high. So like it might go to $10 a month for the general public, but if you're a Prime member, it might be $7.99. You know what I mean? Like I think that's what they're going to end up doing when it actually launches.
Okay.
My theory I had for a while for when they actually do launch is that right now we have Luna Plus, but Luna is the name of the platform, but there's no actual Luna regular subscription, just Luna Plus, which is supposed to be something more than just a regular subscription. I think we're going to see that when they get out of beta, they will give us access to buy the titles. And if you have Prime, you'll probably get better quality on just regular Luna for your purchase titles. Play them in the cloud, and you'll get a Luna Plus, which will remain a paid subscription to get access to all the those channels for.
And we know they have more channels coming. So like maybe if you're a Prime member, you get the retro channel that's supposed to be there eventually for free. Or I mean, who knows? They could do it in a million different ways.
True. I mean, good point. Good discussion. So, what up, Sherman Gaming? He said the price is definitely getting raised. Yeah.
Well,
Everyone's
it's
not
an
into that.
incredible value right
It
now. It's
is,
really
it
cheap
is.
Yeah.
for the
And
amount
I
of
think
games
it's
it gives
cheap
you.
because it's in beta. Like, it's not out yet. So I think that's how they tempt people to try it. Is they're like, hey, it's
And
only, $6. It's like a price of a burrito.
And it's got a lot of excellent games people want to play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I'm wondering though if just Amazon has the pockets, right? I think Prime is the end goal here, right? So if they bundle this up with Prime,
Mm-hmm.
would they not are they willing to eat the cost of bringing
Probably, because Prime
games,
is their Game Pass.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Prime is
exactly.
to them what Game Pass is to Microsoft. So they just want to get this tacked in to
Yeah.
Prime some
Yeah.
way
Right.
to get people to want to have Prime.
Right. So that might
Prime is
stick.
Amazon's
That might
endgame.
stick, But yeah. Cool. All right, man, Amazon taking another hour. Let's move on. GFN. Let's talk about that, right? 1,100 games are available for this platform, which is the most for any cloud game platform. Big stuff, right? $20 off Shield TV Pro. How excited are you guys about that? Are you guys gonna go pick one up now? No more pre-orders for RTX 3080. If you guys want it, you can just click that purchase button and you get to go, right? And then they give us 4 games releasing for this week. The Crack Pet Show, One Hand Clapping, which is leaving early access, for one, and Inscription. And then they let us know that Archriders, which was demoed at I believe the Game Awards, right, is coming to GFN in 2022. And there's another game on here.
I just want to make you a correction. I think it was it was announced but not demo. Like, we didn't saw gameplay or anything.
For what? For Arc?
Arc Riders, correct?
Yeah. They showed the game. I thought it was a gameplay vid. No.
All right, maybe you got me wrong.
I don't know. I might be wrong.
It was very, very early, whatever it was. It was just
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
I think it was mainly CGI, if I remember right. But
Okay.
I've got a memory like a goldfish, so don't listen to me.
It's all good. And then GTFO is now out of early access. So I'm just gonna round this up. What's y'all's take on the GFN news this week? I have a lot to say, but I'm gonna wait for y'all to go. So to start, Duncan, we'll start with you. What's your take?
Okay, I'm going to say this now. I'm going to get this out early and just for the ammo later, because I know what's going to be happening. They launched a game this week which has a higher player count than all the games on Stadia which have been released combined, and you can multiply it by a number of fold in Inscription. Inscription has about 8,000 people playing that concurrently now. Or sorry, it was even earlier today. The last time I checked, it was around 7,000 people were playing that. I think a lot of people don't really understand the GeForce Now's audience. Eddie has been playing Icarus, and if that came to Stadia or any other platform, it would be overlooked because it's a more of a PC sort of game. Inscription is a PC. It's more a PC game, and it has got a big audience there. So I know Ace is going to say this is a weak week, or an awful week, or an absolutely bleep week, but it's actually a decent enough week with that one game. And
wait, what one game makes it a decent
Inscription?
Enough? Are you really?
Go look that up. Go look up its Inscription on SteamDB.
I very hate
you'll
that
see
term.
the player base, and you're gonna go there and say that game is absolutely nonsense, and you're not going to like it. But this game is actually a really pretty popular game.
Okay. Let's sorry, I was trying to pull up that game just to get a better look at this game of the year caliber type game here.
You, believe it or not, it has been in the talk for Game of the Year, yes. And I'm not actually taking the pay here. This has actually been in the running in a number of places.
It looks
for Game of
cool.
the Year. And I know you're going to sit and mock it, but yeah, this game has been in the running for it.
It looks like 11th Guest or 11th Hour or whatever. It's 7th Guest, 11th Hour. Those old PC games that were like little puzzlers with FMV sequences and stuff. That's what it reminds me of from the demo or the trailer.
But what I was going to say is I totally dislike that terminology, PC-style games. It really winds me up because I'm the type of person where I turned my device on, which is a PC. I went to a PC client. I went to a PC storefront. I checked the PC requirements, and I bought my game. And I'm on the GeForce Now website. It says, the next generation in cloud gaming, your games, your devices, RTX on. And then I go, well, where's my bloody games? And then all people say is, oh, your games are not PC enough. And I'm like, I bought it on the PC storefront.
My goodness.
Why don't my games copy the GeForce Now? So that's how I feel.
Yeah.
So
yes, I've just dropped a link in there just to show you this game, which you think is an absolutely weak game, and no one will want to play this. Click onto that link, and you will see how many people are playing this right now. And you can go and use this website to see how many people are playing all these different games. And I think some of the numbers which actually come out are mind-boggling. There you go, 7,298 people in there.
But that's just PC, right? Like that's just
PC people.
Yeah, it's like it's the PC player count. Yeah.
Yeah. So this tells you this game is pretty popular on PC. That is why it has come. You type Chorus in there, it will be under 1,000. You type other games in there, it gives you them. Here's the one that actually shocked me out from all this. If you type in Guardians of the Galaxy, their peak of all time is just over 10,000 people playing that game.
Oh, it's such a good game.
For me, it's my game of the year.
Oh, I love it.
But on Steam, it was not picked up that much. It's only 10,000 people playing it. These aren't figures which are just pulled out from the air or made up. These are actual hard, factual figures of people playing the games now. Okay. So yes, I know you're going to say it's a week and stuff like that. That one game is actually worth it. It is in people's Game of the Year awards. You may not believe that, but this is a good game.
Okay, I'll take you. I'm not touching it, but I'll take your word for it. You know, everyone has their type of game genre.
Ace, that's how I feel. I'm like, well done, GeForce Now. You got 1,100 games. Well done. I can name a handful that I really want to play, and the rest is like.
We have a 38 in the cloud, bro, and you giving me Inscription then?
Exactly. Yep. Exactly what I was going to say. It's like I'm really happy.
Yeah.
But it's like
last game we've seen that takes full advantage of that 3080 is Guardian of the Galaxy, and it was another one I think after, but we need some big power games. Yeah.
Thank you.
You can't, Duncan. You can't talk to these power hungry gamers. They're all about the visuals and the juice behind it.
Yeah.
Look, if Inscription came out on Stadia Luna, you know, shout outs, but I got a 3080 rig in the cloud, man. Come on.
We're looking for games that takes advantage of that.
Thank you.
And that's fair. Like, people game for different reasons. Some people, you know, don't really care about that type of stuff, and some people, they love the toys. They want all the extras. They want all the stuff turned on. They want, 4K and.
For sure.
I do like that kind of game, but
games.
Wait, say it again.
And some people want to play good games.
Yeah. Let's check in with Space, man. What's your take on the GFN news this week?
It's GFN. Well, right now with the free games, it's just one thing I want to underline. It's the free games, like we talked about it earlier, on the Epic Game Store. They're 3-3 right now. It's 3 games you can get for free that you can play on GFN, and they're pretty solid games.
Can you name those games so the people can be aware of what released so far?
So there's Shenmue 3.
Right.
There's what's the one yesterday was
Abyss.
Sorry?
Abyss.
Yeah. And Remnant from the Ashes, that's out today right now that you can claim. So you have to log in every day on the Epic Game Store. It's not like coming out for the full week. The games are free for 24 hours. You have to claim them. And 3 and 3 for those titles, for the Christmas titles that are putting for free, are on GFN. So that is very solid. It's a great news. I don't know if it was coordinated, but it's certainly good. Looking well for GeForce Now to get those titles that you can play on the platform. As for the amount of games that have been coming out lately, it is kind of funny that they kind of made a statement that, okay, we get 10 games a week, and at that moment the number of games did drop down to like 4, 5, maybe 6 a week. And okay, it is at the same time that they've released the RTX 3080. They got a lot of basically they have a team that does the port for the games normally, and those engineers, part of the team, I think, is relocated for releasing the RTX 3080, so it kind of keeps them busy, as it's been released in waves in different territories, and they were stabilizing it. Plus they're opening a new server in Montreal right now. It is open right now, but it's still a lot of work. You have to make sure everything is working properly and that everyone's getting top performance that are connected to that server. So there are reasons as to why they might not be as efficient at bringing a large number of titles, but still they kind of dropped the number of games just when they were kind of making a statement that we got 10 games a week. But still, they just passed 1,100 titles on the platform, which it looks great. And they got some pretty solid titles, like we mentioned, Guardian of the Galaxy. It looks amazing on the platform. So I would like to see more titles drop on GFN right now than what we've been seeing the last few weeks. But there is still a platform that's been dropping a lot of games.
True.
Nicely said. There's a lot of games that I actually praise GeForce Now, but I feel with me, they just drop the ball all the time. It's always they're giving away some free-to-play game or some free game, and then they're always boasting how they're in relation with Epic. But then I look at the Epic Store and I go, oh, maybe they could bring Final Fantasy VII Remastered to the platform. That'll be amazing.
Thank you.
But then you don't. You just go, okay, we don't want these exclusives on our service. We'll just keep on pushing a PC narrative. And I'm going, oh my God. So next year, I'm thinking to myself, they're not going to bring Stranger of Paradise. They're not going to bring Forspoken. They're not going to bring this. And it's just making me go, oh, why am I investing into the service? It doesn't seem like they care.
We need to go for the publisher thing again.
Duncan mad.
Yeah. I said this in our chat. The Square Enix thing is annoying the life out for me because there does seem to be a split here. The Western Square Enix games are coming, but the Japanese ones are not coming. It is a publisher thing. This is not. Do you really think the GFN are going to say, "Nah, mate, we don't want Final Fantasy VII on the platform"? No,
give me my Kingdom Hearts.
Because a lot of people say, we're PC gamers. We don't really need them type of games, so we're all right. So that's how I feel it's going.
Yeah, that's how you feel it's going. So, yes. No, they want the full breadth of the games on the platform. No platform is going to turn around and say, no, we do not want Final Fantasy VII.
The question is, are they pushing hard enough for those Japanese games then? Right?
I would say yes. I think they are pushing to get them, but for whatever reason, they are not coming. Why isn't the 2K games coming? Do you not think they're battering down the doors of 2K and going, we want your games there? Do you not think they're going after all of them?
It's not just Square Enix. It's why aren't they doing it with the likes of Warner Brothers? They're like, we'll bring Mortal Kombat 11. Everyone else has got it because 12's coming out next year. Why
I can tell you where the Warner Brothers games are going. They're going on AT&T. They're not going anywhere else.
As for the Final Fantasy titles, like, look at where they are going, like in the cloud. I know you got like Final Fantasy 12 and 13 over on Game Pass, but if you look at all the Final Fantasy titles and most of the Japanese titles, they're all going to PlayStation, and a bunch of them are on PlayStation now.
No, wait.
They just released Final
mm,
Fantasy 7 to 9 on PlayStation now. PlayStation has a very strong relationship with Square Enix Japan, so
They do.
it might be something that will be revealed within the next few months. We know PlayStation's got some stuff in the works for refurbishing their whole subscription service,
True.
and they got the exclusive on Final Fantasy 16. So that might be the reason why we're not seeing Eastern Square Enix titles
Interesting.
on a lot of streaming platforms.
Interesting.
It makes me thinking
Just to-
GeForce Now was expanding to the east, so I don't know why they're not in relationship preparing to do this.
Xbox is expanding in Japan.
Yeah.
Just to go back to Dr. Spaceman's point there, if you remember a couple of months ago, where were the Final Fantasy games? They were on Xbox, now they were PlayStation, and this is what we're going to be going into in the Cloud Wars, where through the different platforms, if you're a third party, you will see Final Fantasy games are going to be on this subscription service for a couple of years. Now they're going to be over there, or they're going to be over there, and it will always come back to content.
So Warner Brothers are going to AT&T. So where's Capcom going? Where's is that going to a different service?
The reason why it's going to AT&T is because they own Warner Brothers.
They own it now because But I would say Capcom probably look out for Luna. I mean, see Devil May Cry, they would see Resident Evil.
So I was saying it's going somewhere else, and I've got this powerful 3080 going. Okay, it looks like the competition's dragging me somewhere else, and I'm like, come on, GeForce Now. I would love to see these games and franchises and developers on this platform, and I feel like I am going to blame them by saying you need to pull a bit more weight.
Right. So Space, I think you make a good point because Sony did have exclusive rights to Kingdom Hearts. And so we didn't see that here. And again, if they beefing up the cloud service, right, they did have exclusive rights to this Final Fantasy VII remake. So maybe that's a contract that, they're holding on to for the release of their cloud platform. Because it makes no sense why these games are not here, right? But, I mean, you've seen it here. Pretty much most of the Final Fantasy games are on the PlayStation PS Now network.
Well, I heard Final Fantasy VII was a Times exclusive. So now the terminology now is a PC Epic exclusive. So there's no way that this using the word Sony in that marketing term. It's a PC Epic exclusive. So why aren't they working together? Epic, Square Enix, and
but
Now?
Epic is there was the leak of how much they're willing to pay PlayStation to get the exclusives on Epic. That might not have gone through, but I think some deals probably they worked on, and maybe that is it. They talk to Sony and say, hey, we want some of these games that are exclusive to you on our platform, and they're like, all right, fine, well, write us a check, but just so you know, we're gonna keep the exclusive rights to our network service.
So
something
Stranger of Paradise has got Final Fantasy in its name, so I should expect it's not going there. Forspoken is from the team that brought Final Fantasy 15, so I should expect that shouldn't be going as well. So when Ramon Wright said my expectations is because what they're causing. That's what I think.
Forspoken, it's a very different one because it has been very well promoted in the Western with Game Awards and other showcases. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's a concern. It's an issue. I guess that's what it comes down to. They miss Tales, they miss Kingdom Hearts, and now they miss Final Fantasy VII Remake, which are all big.
Man, Tales of Arise,
great game,
so nice.
Right? Great game, and again, they missed it. So it's just something to keep an eye out on for sure. And these people were asking, is God of War going to be coming to GFN because it's come to Epic? Just probably not. So don't get your expectations high
One thing
at all.
I want to add on the PlayStation matter as for exclusives, I would expect a lot of third-party exclusives that are on PlayStation to start appearing on PC for the very simple reason that they just formed PlayStation PC. They want to get PC gamers into the PlayStation ecosystem. It's giving a lot of money indeed. and they don't want to get PC players in their bag. They don't want to frustrate them. So by locking some good games on their consoles and not delivering it on PC, it can make the some of the PC crowd angry. By delivering those titles, like they know those are PlayStation exclusives, but they're also on PC. It gets them more interested in the PlayStation ecosystem, so that when they do release all of their PlayStation first-party titles on PC, it's just extending on that richness of content that people will get to enjoy. So it's getting the gamers on their side by extending a wider catalog of game.
I mean, they have to compete with Microsoft. That's really what it comes down to. Microsoft's got the Game Pass on PC. They got it on consoles. They got it on your phone. So, I mean, Sony had one choice, and that choice was to broaden their market and to, finally unlock their games off of just the console. Like they really didn't have a choice because they are in the same market as Microsoft, unlike Nintendo. But people are already getting Nintendo games on their PC anyways. Just not in the legal sense.
Yeah. True. Eddie, let's check in with you, and we do have to move on to Stadia and Xbox Cloud Gaming. Thoughts on GFN this week?
Well, games releasing this week, indeed, it wasn't a big week for games releasing, but well, tell me a game that was released in another platform that do you think GFN could have it as well
this week?
Yeah, I know, like Game Pass.
Judgment.
No, Judgment wasn't released this week, right?
It was. Amazon Luna got Judgment.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 11 on xCloud.
Xbox Cloud Gaming. Yeah.
Well, okay, you guys got a point.
Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a good week in terms of new games releasing. I have to agree with you guys.
Yeah.
It's just I don't see any big new game release happening for the end of the year, and it usually from December until February, things are very slow in the video gaming industry. So I'm not expecting that much of a difference this end of the year too.
Yeah.
It's just before you go on, I just want to say something. It's actually
go ahead. No, it's good. That's good.
Epic Game Store sale. Go spend.
Yes.
I have spent a fair bit there. Go pick up.
Put an alarm on your phone. A daily alarm.
No,
I'm
so
good.
I'm talking about the sale.
It's so good.
It is absolutely
Let me pull
magical.
it up. Thank you.
Yeah, everybody used to hate Epic Game Store, and now all of a sudden, look, we're setting our phone alarms.
Yeah.
The question you have to ask, some people, again, Steam users and PC gamers, I would say as a whole, hates Epic. But as a consumer, right, think about some of these games that are released and you've seen them be aggressive. And then you have to ask the question, right, if they're not aggressive as they are and have been, would these games even become to PC at all, right? So a game like Final Fantasy VII Remake, God of War, right? Is
Monster Hunter.
Are they influencing these games come to PC? And they are. I would say it's good for consumers as a whole, right? So anyway.
Yeah, I mean the argument it's all just because everybody wants their library on one thing.
On one
which is exactly what a monopoly is, and that's bad. But I mean, people are simple, right? We want to open up a window and it has everything we want.
Yeah.
Everything.
Right. But shout outs to that, Duncan. Thank you for even Steam is having a little sale too as well. So definitely check that out. But so my take with GFN, I think is a weak week. Definitely a weak week. Sorry, Duncan. But I say this, right? If I have to pull out my shadow PC to play a game, it's a problem. Especially like when I have an RTX 3080. Something I'm hearing in the chat is, right, what games released this week, compare it to other cloud game service. Realistically, GFN is on its own league because they're going after the PC market. They're not going after the console market, right? So I judge GFN Now game library on a weekly basis based on what came out for PC that week, right? So if a game is coming on PC, I'm expecting it to be in GFN, right? I hope not to have to pull out my shadow PC to play that game. And so hold on. I know still. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, just while you're on that, so you're judging GFN by PC market?
Releases. Yeah, absolutely.
What do you judge Luna, Xbox, and Stadia by then?
So I judge Xbox by the console market. I judge Stadia by the console market. I don't know what to judge Luna by because, again, still trying to figure out what they are. But if a game is coming out on console, I'm expecting it to come on Stadia, possibly Xbox Cloud Gaming. But if a game's coming on PC, I'm expecting to have that on GFN.
No worries.
Well, my expectation is going back what I said before. The marketing says your games, your devices, RTX on. I bought my games from PC Library, from PC storefronts, and they're not accessible on GeForce Now. So that marketing, your games, your device, is wrong. They should change it. They should put, I don't know, something a lot more nicer that I can understand, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just my take, man. Again, Final Fantasy VII, Doc, maybe you're right about some exclusive deal with Sony, but that should have been here.
Wasn't GFN more aggressive when they first started, and then like they got in trouble with Blizzard, and so I think because of that, they've had to be more careful and make more like deals specifically with publishers because they don't want to get in legal trouble again. So I think like the idea of GFN was I have a PC game, I can remote play it anywhere. But because of what happened with like Activision Blizzard, GFN was like, well, oops, we can't really do that anymore. We have to basically have our own platform, essentially, where we have to get like rights to everything. And yeah.
I'm just going to throw this back to the sale, the Epic sale. I picked up 5 games. 3 of them games, the only place I can play them are on GFN.
It should be that way though, because that's Epic is PC, right?
Yeah. No, what I mean is I picked up Kenna, I picked up Timberborn, I picked up Immortals. Is Chernobyl Light on Xbox and PlayStation?
I don't know.
Wait, which one?
Chernobyl Light.
I think it is.
Oh, I got Battlefield on that special sale, so
I'm going medieval. So I think 3 of them games I can only play because my PC isn't good enough on GFN. The other games I could go on the console. So you have to keep that in mind. There's a lot of games on GFN which if you're just looking at broadly at them, that market, and you're not using virtual PCs, you can only play them on GFN because they are PC games.
Yeah. See, if I buy a game on Epic, I'm hoping to play it on GFN. Not again, Epic is geared towards the PC market, so is Steam, right? So if I'm buying games on there, I'm hoping that GFN would be the play. Again, all these cloud game platforms have a different niche that they geared and catered towards, and so for me, GFN's the PC market.
And what did they bring today? They brought in Inscription, which is a big game in the PC space.
Sure. I mean, I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
And it makes you happy, Duncan. I get that, but what the hell's my Battlefield, man?
Yeah.
I mean, I started to
just being real. People are saying like what games released. They don't have to get. It would be nice if they got like didn't they release, but it's a huge back catalog. I mean, I can tell you in our news videos every week. First comment is where the hell are the EA games, right? They got some. Where the rest of them? There's so many other games that they can still get, right? To showcase that 3080.
But they're holding them back probably for their own piece of the pie. Like EA, I mean, come on. They're going to have a subscription option eventually for streaming. I mean, they're going to, right? They're a massive company. Yeah. The same thing with Activision Blizzard. Like, I think they're so aggressive anti-streaming because they want a piece of that later on. Like, they want to get their own network in place and make all that money instead of just letting GFN take a huge slice.
True. True.
Well,
And
the interesting thing about all that's happening right now, looking at the platforms, like you got Stadia and Luna, like you said, is more compared to the bigger platform like PlayStation and Xbox. What happens is that when PlayStation and Xbox actually do sort out their cloud platform, that's going to be the competition, and it's heavyweight. Like it can be crushing. What will happening? It'll be a big hit on the amount of users. While GFN on the other side is a complementary service for your PC gaming. So no matter what happens on the PlayStation and Xbox side, will barely affect GFN a bit. Like not as much as other small cloud gaming platform that we're seeing on the rise right now.
Well, I'm starting to see cracks in GeForce now because I went out and bought a Shield TV, and I was like, oh, I didn't want it, but I thought if that's the only chance in place I can actually play 3080, then I'm going to get it. So today, the other day, I was actually playing Shamu, and I just couldn't get in it. And out of nowhere, all these Windows error boxes were popping up, big, huge red X, and it said, you don't have this game, please exit. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Then I started seeing Steam big picture modes, and it was freezing on that. Clicked on Cyberpunk, and it took me to the Epic Games Store just to show me notes, install patch notes. And I'm starting going, I just want to play the bloody game. And I started seeing the flaws behind it. I'm like, I'm starting to see this as more as a remote PC than actually a cloud service where I can just click and play.
And that's a common complaint. The GFN like UI and the way it functions, it just feels so taped together. Just it's not as cohesive as Luna and Stadia.
I don't know what you guys are playing. I'm going on my Shield TV. I click on Canna. I'm in Canna. Bang! I'm away I go. I click into Assassin's Creed. I'm in playing it, and the UI for me is easier than the Stadia UI. It goes down. You don't have to scroll across. You go down.
It's easier than the Stadia UI, my dude.
Yeah. On the Shield.
The GFN UI for me is easy as well.
Easier than the Stadia UI, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
A lot easier to navigate.
If you're playing Stadia, if you're looking to play a game which you haven't played in a while, depending on the amount of games you've got, you could be there scrolling about for 6 years trying to get to the far side of it. On GFN, alphabetical order.
Oh, you're talking about the Shield TV.
I'm talking on the Shield. Even in the app, I type in the search and away you go. It is you scroll down. It's so much. For me, it is easier than the Stadia one. Stadia UI. Again, different horses for different courses. I think I can get the talk about the multiple logins. Okay, I know people yap about that, and I can understand why people don't like that. For me, I've been logging in here, bang, away I go. It's so much easier.
So we do have to move on. Sorry, Al. We can be.
I don't know. I don't know if you can see this. Just put me on a big picture. Look, that's what I got. Look, I don't know if you see that.
Brilliant.
And it's like that's my GeForce Now experience. Click on it, and I go to an Epic storefront. Look, there's me Shamu. There's me.
I've never seen that.
Then try to put you in the big picture holds. Did that work?
Nope.
So that went straight to it, and I'm seeing buttons like install, download. Like this shouldn't happen in cloud space, should it?
Yeah. So let's move on. Sorry, guys, we can't be here for days. I love it. But we still have 3 more. But we're probably not gonna get to the third one. But let's focus on this last 2 with Stadia and Xbox Cloud Gaming, right? So. Trying to pull up my notes. Stadia gave us some pretty good stuff. We had Assassin's Creed 3 remastered release for Stadia this week, which was a pretty good port. Chief did the comparison with quality and performance, right? Good stuff. We had Super Animal Royale, which is a free-to-play title. It's a lot of fun if you guys haven't tried that out yet. We had One Hand Clapping release, and then we have the Assassin's Creed Odyssey free-to-play weekend for non-pro members as well. So, and I think Super Animal Royale, correct me if I'm wrong, is free-to-play for non-pro members as well. So this is, again, something that we've requested, and it's pretty cool to see it happening to where non-pro members can actually test this out. So now, right, if you want someone to test out Stadia, it's a free tier in their games for these guys to test out. So overall, I think that's some good stuff. So let's start there, and then I do want to talk about promotions after that. So gonna open this up. We'll start with Eddie Player One, man. What's your take on the Stadia news for this week? All right, we'll move to
Thank you.
We'll move to Holt. So what's your take for the Stadia news this week?
Well, if Eddie's allowed to say that, yeah.
I removed to Duncan now. Go ahead, Holt.
I love Assassin's Creed 3, and I'm glad it's there. And hearing Duncan saying he's going back and playing them really makes me feel like, oh, these games can actually look pretty with a new gloss of paint on. So, I mean, for me, I'm not going to pick it up.
Play on the 3080. Play on the 3080. Don't play on Steam.
Yeah, I'm not actually going to play. I've got Valhalla to still play. I'm not going back to these old games. So. But I'm happy
Odyssey is a pretty good
game. I'm talking about Assassin's Creed 3. It's a great story, but I've moved past it. But I'm really glad.
Is the remastered though? It's not like it's actually pretty impressive quality-wise and performance-wise.
It's the mechanics and performance. You know, Assassin's Creed's evolved, and when I go back and see stupid stuff like you can go up the wall and it's not doing the advanced grapples, it's not doing all this other stuff. It makes me like, oh. So, but for people who haven't played the game, I would so recommend it. It's a great in the story. It's great focused on Desmond and Connor and stuff like that. But to me, it's a step back. I welcome it at the price it came to Stadia. But to me, with these other games, one I'm clapping, I'm staying away from that. I don't like puzzle games. It's supposed to be like Zen Buddhist Enlightenment. That's like the name of the one I'm clapping. It's like a Kona or something. But I know I'll be so frustrated just playing it. So I'm like, nope, not for me. Staying away from that. So this week, I'm staying away from a lot that's advertised on Stadia. But I know it's going to be there for someone.
Okay, fair enough. How about you, Space? What's your take on the Stadia news for this week?
He has been pretty good lately at building up hype.
We're not talking about the promotions yet, Space.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they got some good titles lately, and they've been Animal Royale game is a good take for them, but yeah, I think I'm going to stop here.
Okay, can I ask something? Right? We got to give this platform praise when they're doing something right. And we've been on here multiple times saying that they should do this free-to-play weekend. They should take out the pro barrier. And they did it for 2 games this week. Isn't that big?
Oh, that is a win.
Okay.
That's a win.
Okay.
Is it not just the one game?
It's for Super Animal Royale and Assassin's.
That's a free-to-play game anyway, so that's another free-to-play game.
But
so that's
add that to the library. But Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is a single play, it's not even online. It's a single play focus game. I don't know. I think that's something that we should praise them for.
It's a step in the right direction. Definitely.
Right? Okay. All right. So let's check in with you, Duncan. Take on Stadia news this week.
Stadia news this week. Okay. If you're just in Stadia land and
here we go.
It is absolutely it's a decent enough week for it. We're not talking about the other stuff to start off with. Getting Assassin's Creed over the weekend for everybody is a gift, and we should share this gift with our friends and family out there and things like that, and get people. Sorry, that joke is not landed at all. And we will move on with that. Again, I thought it was dead on this week for Stadia. It's Super Animal Royale. The Stadia community has been asking for that game for absolutely ages. It's a decent enough game. There's about 2,000 people playing that on Steam. I'm just using that as a comparison. Go for beforehand. So it is and it's on other platforms. It's cross-platform multiplayer as well. I think it's a good get. It's a good game. It's a free-to-play game. People can jump in. Assassin's Creed being free for everybody. It is what we have been asking for, and to open this up so people can see it. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is an absolutely class game. Also, you can talk about, if you haven't played Assassin's Creed Odyssey in a while, they're stuck in that new storyline into the game, which ties it into Valhalla as well. So I think it's. I don't think it's a oh my god, this is a brilliant week, but I don't think it's a oh my god, this is an absolute awful week with just this part there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Hell Monkey's got a point there, but we won't go there. We won't go there. But overall, it's a Stadia decent week.
Okay. Fair
We
enough.
got games.
All right. We've got games. We've got stuff that we've asked for too, right? Let's check in with you, Jez. What's your take on the Stadia news for this week?
I mean, it's great. Super Animal Royale. I don't like
What?
BRs. I just don't like. I think that they tend to be very samey and a lot of build up for a quick death that you do over and over again. But I loved it. Like, I got into it. I thought it was very accessible for a new player. It's not like Fortnite where you shoot somebody and they turn into a house. So like, you can actually compete as a new player pretty well. Very fun game. I found myself wanting to play it more, not just to try it. I was like, wow, I actually kind of want to keep playing this game. Assassin's Creed 3 is great. I have Ubisoft Connect, so it's in my library. Will I go back and play it? Maybe. I like Holt said, I have the new games to play through, so going back, I probably will eventually, but I don't know when. But yeah, I mean, it was a good week for Stadia for sure. Outside of the marketing, I thought they did a very good job.
Okay. All right. So, Eddie, you want to give this one another shot?
Yeah. So,
Go ahead.
you're right, Ace.
Okay.
Good to see like huge titles such as Odyssey becoming free to play. I know it is a 2017 game, but it's still to this day it's very well praised and people still to this day play it. That's why Ubisoft released the DLC of Cassandra and Ivor.
Yeah.
Regarding Super Animal Royale, it's just one thing that I have to say. It's one kind of a bad thing, and that's the only bad thing I'm gonna say today. I love the game. In the beginning of the year, that's when the game launched. That's when I played. We are in December. I'm not gonna be playing that game again. So kudos for everybody who never played before and is having a good time again. My friend Chase, he loved the game. He said earlier in our private chat that he thinks it's one of the game of the years for him. Good for him. But yeah, it's with so many other games that have released this year, I'm not gonna be playing Super Animal Royale anytime.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bangers that came out this year.
Sure.
I just want to add into this, the really good thing about Super Animal Royale is got cross-platform multiplayer.
Yes.
And that is something what we've all been calling for as well, for all these multiplayer games on Stadia to have as much.
They have to. If your game is releasing on Stadia and it's multiplayer focused, it has to be crossplay. I mean, you don't have an option. If you don't, it's not like nobody's gonna get it. Like if a game does not have crossplay, I will not buy it on Stadia. And it's not. I mean, it's nothing against the platform. There's just not there's just not enough people there, and it's frustrating. Like, I love Uno, but unless my family's playing Uno with me, I can't find other players to play with.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm just making a bad joke here. 9 to 5 doesn't count as cross-platform multiplayer.
All right, so let's talk about the promotion. So I want to do something, man. There's so much we want to talk about. I don't think we'll get to on this podcast, but let's talk about this promotion, 12 days to whatever you want to call it, to Christmas or whatever Stadia is running, to where they're supposed to give us supposed to be like deals, right, on a daily basis for 12 days. And I want to talk about this as to like what Stadia can do to improve marketing, because I feel like straight out this is a huge marketing fail. And we've seen this happen with this platform when it comes to marketing. They just keep dropping the ball, right? So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Stadia, again, launched the promotion to where 12 days was supposed to be getting deals. And it seems like for the first 3 or 4 days now has been a miss with everything. Most of the stuff, let's say that they've put out. The first day they announced that Destiny 2 was free, which again, it's a free game to begin with. So it's like, why are you telling the community, the game is free? The second deal that they put, correct me if I'm wrong, it was a game that released previously, and they were just announcing it again that it's not good. I'll just say that this 12-day campaign has not been good, and we've seen
More
Stadia
like the
drop the
12
ball.
statements of Christmas.
It sounds like it, to where instead of giving us deals, they're just telling us what is already happening with the Stadia platform. So I'm gonna open this up. I do want to, not spend a lot of time here because I do want to move to Xbox Cloud Gaming. But give constructive, positive feedback. What can Stadia do to fix this marketing issue, especially with this 12 days thing that happened?
I think they've already started making changes a lot. If you look at last night's tweet, the wording has now changed. The wording is no longer 12 days of Christmas, and they've taken out all that sort of shenanigans. I think they've taken the feedback on. Again, I think I'm awful with names. And Chaka, is that how you
Shaka,
pronounce her name? I think she has done such a great job since she's actually joined this.
Oh yeah, I love her.
I don't think this is them guys, though, Grace and Chaka. I think this is coming from above in the marketing team. I'm not putting any sort of blame on them. I think this has been an absolute shocker to tell you the truth. But I do think that they are learning for it. That Assassin's Creed one is the actual worst, because if you go down 2 tweets below it, they actually talk about it before that. It's an absolute. If you go down to the next tweet below that one, there you go. Same tweet 2 days before. I think there needs to be a more cohesive sort of approach within Google. I think they're still siloed off. They need to be all together, everybody swimming the same direction. If the social media guys say this is not going to be a good thing to do, they should be going, okay, the marketing people should be going, okay, we're not going to run it here, and vice versa. There needs to be something going on here, because that has been an absolute mess up. And that first tweet as well about the friends and family, that's how a lot of people actually picked it up, and within like half an hour they've had to change that tweet. I just think that we're trying to be good and clever and trying to get something going here. It could have been handled better. It came off really bad, but I think they are learning from it, and I hope it gets better going forward.
And I think you made a great point about communication. I think they have a communication problem somewhere in Google. They just don't seem to be able to talk to each other clearly, and things are getting completely muddled and screwed up. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Like you said, it's not Chaka or Grace. They are amazing. They're great. They're smart. There's no way this is them. This is more than that. This is a disorganized company is what this is. Yeah. And it's just a shame, because I mean, when I saw that first tweet, I'm like, awesome. We're going to have 12 days of sales. We're going to have great deals. We just had that big Black Friday thing, like the 2-year celebration. Now we're going to get even more sales. So I was excited. I was ready to buy some stuff. And Destiny, like when I saw Destiny, I'm like, oh, like what do I do with this? Like I don't understand now.
So like, ready to buy, you can still use the epic deals that Duncan was saying.
Oh gosh, Jazz, real quick.
Let me small. One thing they really need to do. Stadia is meant to be worldwide or European, and the Americas. Remember about us Europeans. These flipping tweets were going off at like midnight over here. Or do we not count? You know what I mean?
It is really late.
You don't want to talk about regions right now, Duncan. Every single region, every single platform is pending regions launch, except for GFN, they're already launched in South America.
Yeah. So Go ahead.
What I mean is they could get a UK account and even have it all scheduled.
Just
tweets.
a U account.
No, it's
So,
UK. We're not in EU.
Brexit, that's right.
Yeah, let me,
But,
Jazz, hold on. Let me ask you a question, because I know you follow tech, and like you just bought a Google Pixel 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're familiar with like Google product. I'm sure you're familiar with how Google works as a whole, right?
Yes.
So did you follow Google around like the Nexus era when they made the Nexus phones and tablets?
Yeah, I did a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you tried to purchase a Nexus product back then, but when it comes to like communication too, that team experienced the same issue, right? It was a huge mess, right? So is this a Google Stadia problem, or is this a Google company problem?
This is a Google problem. This is a uniquely Google problem, and it's so frustrating to me because we have $1 billion company with some of the smartest people working for it, and they can't get communication down. Like, this is like basic business, right? This isn't like 21st century stuff. This is like as old as business itself. You need communication. And now more than ever, when you have so many arms operating simultaneously every day, they need to be able to talk to each other effectively. And Google just, I don't know what's wrong with them. They just can't seem to get that part down. It's like, you guys, you made Gmail, right? Use it. Email each other, contact each other, talk about this stuff, get it down, because like Stadia is such an amazing platform and I love it to pieces, and I tell everybody about it, and then they see stuff like this. They go to social media, they see stuff like this, and then they laugh. And it's dumb because there's such a great product there with so many awesome things about it, and people won't, because they go on Twitter and it's people are laughing about something. It's like, and that's what breaks my heart as somebody that loves Stadia, and then I see this type of stuff far too often.
Yeah, true. Go ahead.
How hard would it have been to delay the release of Assassin's Creed 3 remastered by 2 or 3 days? Because that was the second day of Christmas event. The game was out like 2 or 3 days before. So you got the game coming out, a discount on it, already on it. Then some days after, you make it a day of Christmas special event.
Exactly. Like, that should have been communicated, and that should have been worked out. That should have been handled. They should have waited and released it that day.
You got a big event happening, and then you got the confettis coming out like 2 or 3 days after the party is over. And it's like, people are like, what is that?
It's
like,
weird. People get confused. Like, I mean, I follow Stadia every day, and I was confused. I'm like, why is this? Like, what am I missing here?
Being released on a platform, it's not only a solely decision of the platform holder, there's the decision as well of the publisher. And it feels like this campaign was kind of last minute rushed, because usually when people does this Christmas thing, they do 20 days of Christmas or 24 days of Christmas for the whole month of December. So it felt kind of like a rushed. So maybe that's why.
Oh, Eddie, you nailed it. That's exactly it. It's very rushed, and you can tell.
They decided to do it before knowing if they had something to put in it.
I thought it was Christmas themed. I thought they were going after on the 12th day of Christmas. Stadia gave to me.
That's what
I thought too.
Yeah.
That's what Epic is doing right now, and they're giving a free AAA game almost every day. Some indies.
All right.
What I expected to see is I wanted them to work with the community by saying, okay, day one, here's a vote. Which game do you want to go on sale? Day two, which game do you want to sell? And then just keep on doing that and prepared it in advance for what we're going to see. Yeah, because they've done it well. They've done it with Assassin's Creed and something else.
True. All right. So let's. Anyone else for just?
I just want. This is actually good news, Stadia stuff. If you haven't checked your email, go check your email. See if you've got an email from Stadia, you might get a free month of Pro.
True.
And that was a really good thing as well. So,
and it looks like that it's only going out to people that have lapsed or aren't subscribed. Is that not true? That's what I read on Twitter. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah, well, what I saw is
some
people
people
who
were getting-
left Stadia, and wait, I can open the email and read the.
Are you getting it in
you
UK?
You got it too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I never got one. I'm mad now.
Yeah.
I haven't got it.
We're just better.
So the subject of the email says,
Yeah.
"Enjoy a month of Pro Stadia on us."
Okay.
I'm gonna message Chaka. Where's
A
mine?
surprise gift for you. Curious to
Good-
see what
good-
you've been
good-
missing? Enjoy all the
good.
perks of Stadia Pro for a month free of charge. Keep on playing, etc. So there's a code for redeem only in Canada. But again, this email I got it because I didn't have my Stadia Pro active. So could be that only people who are not Stadia Pro members are getting
Yes.
this email.
I haven't.
I'm glad you
received it, and
said
I don't
that.
have Stadia
Okay,
Pro
you done?
active.
Host, did you have Stadia Pro?
Yeah, but remember, I've got family accounts, haven't I? I've got like 6 people on
okay.
them. So, you know, I mean, I've got like premium accounts, so I'm just going to go through them and hope it doesn't expire. I've got 6 months. I've got over 6 months off Stadia.
There.
Duncan, did you
No,
cancel
mine's
your
gone.
Pro?
Mine's gone, and mine's gone last month.
Okay.
But I have been told by a couple of people that they have got it and they are still members.
Still members. Interesting. Well, check your emails. You guys might get something awesome like that. I do want to move on. We still have Xbox Cloud Gaming to cover. I'm just going to be quick here. Multiple games released for the platform this
Huge week.
11 games. Insane. So we have Ben 10, Power Trip, we have Broken Age, we have Firewatch, we have Lake, we have Mortal Kombat 11, Paw Patrol, we have Race with Ryan, we have Record of Lotus War, we have The Gunk, and then Stealth Drop was Aliens, Fireteam Elite, and Among Us also released. And then we had Transformers Battlegrounds. All of these games are released on Xbox Cloud Gaming, which is huge. Normally you see this breakdown on games coming to Game Pass and it's like, 4 or 5, but every single one of these games came out in cloud. So how big of a week was this for Xbox Cloud Gaming? Did you guys play any of these games in the cloud? And if so, how was the performance? I'm just going to open it up. Feel free to jump in. Anyone?
Well, I haven't played the new ones. I've been playing Halo Infinite, as I said earlier, and that's been great. But I know the Gunk was a big get for them. That was one that's been people have been looking forward to that.
Yeah. It's an exclusive game, right?
Yes.
To the platform. Okay.
And I was like, wow, that's already on, like, that's released on cloud day and day. And I mean, you can play it.
Yeah.
But exclusive games don't count.
Duncan's so feisty. Does somebody want to change a rectangle with me? I'll go up here.
Yeah.
Start in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Go
For
ahead.
me, in the poll, for me, Xbox was absolutely leaps and bounds the best platform of the week. I think
what are the polls saying? We go by the polls here, Duncan.
We go by the polls. It's very evenly split between
Is it?
Xbox, GFN, and Stadia.
I voted for Stadia
Did you?
because it's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand how anybody cannot vote for Xbox this week. That's where I'm going.
That's fair.
My vote changes every
vote
week.
on a weekly basis. Don't say, "Oh, I'm voting for Stadia because I like it." It's a weekly thing. You have to change it up.
No, it's going to
Change
be
it
Stadia
up.
every time.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
We know straight away. Like,
I'm going to infect your poll with
to me-
Stadia.
to
It's
me-
always
well-
going to be at least like what 5-6% or something.
to me, seeing Mortal Kombat 11 on there was a big, huge get for me, and
Yeah.
I've tried it, and it ran great. And people would say fighters must run crap on cloud game, but it actually runs quite smooth. And I know my younger family members; they're big Paw Patrol people, and Ryan's racing, so they're been backwards doing backflips because they're playing games on xCloud now. So that's Stadia and xCloud. These young gamers in my family are playing now, so
Yeah.
it's a win-win.
By the way, I don't like this at all. They need more here. It's so plain. You click on it. They need more pictures.
Yeah, but you're in
maybe
the
a
web
trailer.
browser. The
I am in the
app is a
No,
bit
we
better.
don't need more stuff that takes up more bandwidth
Oh,
data.
they
Let-
need
let's
they need
just
a
keep it
trailer
simple.
here. They need something more. Anyway, sorry.
You got
keep
all
going.
that in the app. That's just a web browser.
They need to update it. Sorry, I'm picky.
Well,
My bad.
Well, I'm just going to add into here as well. It's the crossover again. This is the buy versus rent, or if you want to say buy versus subscription model. The comparisons are there. All them are not all them games. A lot of them games are on different platforms, and then you're going, do you buy this on Stadia because Stadia is the only one you can really buy it on, or these games this week, or do you just add them or get Game Pass for the month and play them on there? This is where this is going to be thought out, and it's going to be thought out in content, and this is why it's really, really interesting. The crossover of games is just unreal again.
Okay. Anyone else about these games? Have you
I'm
played
actually
them?
really excited at trying Record of Lotus War because it's based on an anime I watched a lot as a kid.
Oh yes,
really enjoyed.
me too.
Great
Yeah.
anime.
I'm glad
yeah.
somebody else was down with that because man, I mean, Deedlit Parm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just before the show I was looking at xCloud and I saw like that game's like, what's that? I clicked on it. It's like, wait, Record of Lotus War?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was shocked. I'm like in
I recognize
2021.
the character. It's like she looks like her from the record, and I saw the names like, oh, okay, it is that game.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that game existed.
So what type of game is it? Is it an RPG? Again, it would be nice if they had
It
more
looks a lot
pictures
like
here.
Castlevania.
Oh, really?
Here, I'll share my
Yeah,
screen. I've got
sure.
it here. Hold on. So, yeah, it's a Record of Lotus War. You actually got the animation here, but it looks a lot like Castlevania, the style of game it is. So yeah, you
Okay,
got,
yeah.
Oh, like
she's
a
one of the main
Metroidvania.
character in the game, but I'll just go a bit forward.
It's like a Metrovania. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good. Like
It looks like Symphony of the Night.
I'm gonna want to play
Yeah.
that for sure.
I'm not touching this game, but
Looks pretty solid.
just way
Yeah, where's that 3080?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
doesn't have that 3080 on it, man.
Seriously, yeah.
Come
But
on.
when I looked at xCloud up and saw when I saw Mortal Kombat, I thought, you are being cheap, Xbox. We're on Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate Edition with Aftermath, and you're giving me just the base game. I was like, stop being cheap.
They do that a lot with Game
Stop doing-
Pass,
yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, if you're xCloud only, it's tough because you'll get these games and they'll have lots of DLC, but you don't want to buy the DLC because once the game cycles out, poof, it's gone.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
If you don't have a console or
Exactly. Yeah. If you're cloud only, yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else about Xbox Cloud? I'll just go real quick. Big week and way to round off the year. I think this is again, Microsoft gives us 2 blog plan each month, so they give it to us in the beginning of the month and then middle or end of the month. So this is unless they have like still drops of games come before Christmas, but this is it. This is probably what we're gonna get for this month. So again, way to end out the year for them. It's huge.
I'm curious, they might release more titles. It's not impossible to release more titles closer to Christmas.
That's what
Yeah,
again
it is
still
possible.
drop. There is a possibility, but just the way they operate, they give us 2 blogs a month, and this is the second one. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Anyone else with Xbox Cloud Gaming as a whole?
Man, Halo Infinite's so good.
I'm still waiting for the xCloud purchase because it is
Yes.
something that Phil Spencer expressly said that he's working on.
Yeah.
He expressly said the Stadia model that you can buy your games and play them in the cloud.
Yeah.
Still waiting on that, but it's he did.
I love
confirm
Phil
that it's in the
Spencer.
works.
I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, he saved Xbox.
I love him. He's so relatable.
Xbox
He's
was gonna shut
such a
down,
cool
and he
dude.
saved
Yeah.
it.
Phil, if you're watching, you'd be
Love
a
you,
good
man.
guest in the
He's the
show.
better of the
Yeah.
2 Phils.
Ooh, wait.
Yeah,
I-
I'm
I-
sorry,
I
Stadia,
thought,
but man,
I thought Stadia was right here to you.
It is right here, but man,
Oh, that's
We're prepared and fails.
Ooh.
It's the hair, right?
give us the other Phil. Let's
Is it-
trade Phils.
Yeah.
Because Xbox can be brought down a little bit.
It's
Yeah.
hilarious. Yes. So we're gonna do like a little segment of what our thoughts were for these platforms, like give them a grade, but we don't have time for that. So we'll probably do that. I know, Duncan. We'll probably do that when we start up again next year. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, this was a good show. Shadow PC was the other one. Again, we did a video, so just check out that news. For those of you guys who were hoping that they released an upgraded tier this year, it's not happening. They talked about bringing it next year, and it's going to be, I think they said, a 3070 equivalent, and the price supposed to be like not significantly more expensive than the boost tier. So we're thinking about probably $15 to $20 more than $30. So do the math. But yeah, that's the Shadow PC news. Again, check out the video if you want more detail on that. But that is it, guys. This is the show, and this was fun. It's good to again to see. This is the. I'm almost curious to ask Duncan why he's laughing, but I'm afraid to. So we're gonna keep moving, right? Or do you want to? No. Okay, so we're gonna keep moving. Space. What do you do, sir? Where can people find you, my dude?
I usually stream every Sunday for my own gameplay. Lately, I've been doing a lot of Twitch, so it's either on Twitch or YouTube, moving from one platform to the other. People just best following me on Twitter, but I always post my streams on there. And other than that, every Thursday we do the Cloud Nation TV podcast. You can join me with Vec Cloud Gaming, Ray 3473, Maker of Chaos 12 that's in the chat right now, and also JD3MXP. So we get great talks going on there. So that's other than that, I do some streams once in a while. But for the next few weeks, though, I'll be out of the province, so I'll be doing less streams. But I'll still try to make some stuff. By the way, thanks a lot for including me on this.
Absolutely, man. Love the intake. Again, we try to bring the smartest, brilliant cloud game enthusiasts in the panel. So you did good, man. Thanks for joining us. Awesome stuff. Holtz, what do you do? Where can people find you?
Well, I'm just usually the cloud gaming lurk. I'm mostly in everyone's podcast watching it on some kind of late night, like Cloud Nation TV. I'll just be there, watching all of you going, oh, great opinions. But you can catch me on Holtz86 on Twitter. Come and say hi, and we can talk gamings. But yeah, I want to wish everyone a great Christmas and a safe Christmas, or a holiday that anyone celebrates. And I'm looking forward to next year to hear what Santa brought for all you good gamers. Did you get new displays, new services, new games? I'm interested to see where we're all going as cloud gamers next year.
Rocks. Duncan is going to get rocks. Anyway, I'm just
Cole.
Monkey's not here today, so I have to pick on you, dude. He would have been doing the same. But yeah,
some people would say cool, and some people would say I deserve the best present in the whole world.
Potatoes.
Potatoes, yes. No, potatoes, that's crisps. That's a packet of crisps.
Yeah.
That's the best crisps. Sorry. They're the best chips in the world. They're potato chips. Yeah.
I don't think people are catching that one, Duncan. I'm just gonna let that one. Right. Eddie, play one, sir. What do you do? Where can people find you?
Well, I do most of the time right now. I'm doing the Twitters, but people also can catch me up on YouTube.com/EddiePlayer1, where I play Icarus during the holidays, and I'll soon be sharing my routine as a Ubisoft product manager as well.
Nice. Eddie, always, man. You like family here. Good to have you.
Thanks again for the invite, Ace. I really appreciate it.
For sure. Duncan, did we get to you?
Do you really want to get to me? That's the question.
Sure. What do you do? Where can people find you, my dude?
I get shouted out Cloudy with Games. We've got some interesting videos coming out in the next couple of weeks, which people will like or not like, and I'll get shouted at. And if you didn't see my thing there, the Stadia tweet is out.
Yeah, what is that?
It's an announcement of a DLC, which was announced a couple of days ago.
Oh, you mean
the maybe 12... heard it here first? Maybe.
I'm confused. Do you mean the 12-day thing? What is it? Let the people know.
It's a DLC for
what game?
Death by Chocolate. Death by Daylight, which was announced about 3 or 4 days ago.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Well,
it's the ring coming to it. So on that disappointment, we will move on.
okay. How about you, Jez? What do you do? Where can people find you? And again, thanks for joining the panels. It was a lot of
I
fun.
absolutely had a blast. I never thought I'd be sitting between Duncan and Eddie. I never thought this would happen. I love these two guys. And you can find me on Twitter at Real Jezebelly. I just post about gaming stuff. And I made my very first YouTube video for the CGX channel.
Yeah.
So you can go watch that. It's about Uno on Stadia. I'm doing a little like a series about games that I personally enjoy that may have been overlooked. You know, these guys, they cover a lot of the power stuff, you know, like the comparisons and which games are, you know, pushing that 3080.
Yes, sir.
But for me, it's, you know, I like maybe more niche stuff. So give that video a watch if you want to see it. You want to hear about Uno. Other than that, that's all I got going.
So, question for you: how was the experience of learning about editing and actually?
Oh my goodness!
Video?
Doing all that for the first time was stress-inducing for sure. I pushed the bridge of my glasses into my nose so hard that I left a red mark, and I didn't even realize I was doing it.
It's a lot, right? Learning.
Oh yeah, it was overwhelming, but you know, I eventually I wrangled it in and I handled it.
You did good. That video is awesome. Again, check it out on the Access channel. Yeah. But this was a lot of fun, guys. So we're going to take a 2-week break, I believe, but we'll be back first week of January. So this is going to be available in audio form, Anchor, Apple, whatever you guys use to listen to audio podcasts. Catch this on here. Appreciate you guys. This was a lot of fun. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Whatever you celebrate. And we'll see you guys next year. Till next time. Peace out.
And a congratulations to Ace's camera.
Yeah, I think I've